are made in Hollywood. A lot of films are made in Hollywood. It's not specific, it's a general statement. And here we can see are and past participle, are made. So it's passive. Number 5, a lot of ancient things are kept in museums. Again, there we have are, past participle, the passive. And we're making a general statement, passive. Finally, number 6, we often visit our local museum. Okay, we know the subject, we. Therefore, it's active. There's no passive structure in this sentence, and we know the subject. Okay, so there's one way to use the passive. Now, there are some other ways, so let's take a look. We can also use the passive when the object of a sentence is more important than the subject. When the object of an active, so we know active sentences, is more important than the subject. Remember, the subject is who does an action. Okay? So, for example, an active sentence, people in costumes. People in costumes greet visitors. So, the subject, the object. If we change it to passive, we want the object to be more important. So, visitors are greeted by people in costumes. Okay? And there's the passive. Okay, the passive. So one more time, here's the active sentence. People in costumes greet visitors. People in costumes is the subject. Visitors are the object. And if we want the object to be more important, we use the passive form of the sentence. So the object goes first. Visitors, then the passive, are greeted by people in costumes. There's the subject. Okay? So that's one other way. We can also use by, the word by, to say who or what does an action. So here, the word by, who does the action? rather than the subject coming first, we can use by and then the subject. Or we can use with to say what is used to do an action. For example, okay, so we've seen by here. For with, the museum is decorated. There's our passive, is decorated with things. Okay, with things from the real Titanic. Let's put Titanic here. Titanic, okay? So, one more time, we can use the passive when the object is more important than the subject. We can use by with the subject to say who does an action. And we can use with to say what is used to do an action. Okay, so let's try an activity here. Number 1. Pictures are painted by or with artists. Remember, by for the subject, with for the object. Number 2. Aeroplanes are flown. Okay, so here's our passive. By or with pilots. Number 3. Thieves are caught by or with the police. Number 4, bread is made by or with flour. Number 5, photos are taken by or with cameras. And number 6, these bottles are filled by or with water. Okay, so 6 passive sentences there, all of them using either by or with. So let's see if you can choose the correct one. Number 1, pictures are painted by or with artists. So artists are people, so we use by. Number 2, aeroplanes are flown by or with pilots. Again, pilots are people, so it's by. Number 3, thieves are caught by or with the police. The police are people, again, so it's by. Number 4, bread